নমস্কাৰ সকলোকে আজি আমি মৌলিক অধিকাৰৰ একটা অতি গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ প্ৰশ্নটোৰ আলোচনা কৰিম যিবোৰ আগন্তুক APSC UPSC ADRE কে ধৰি অন্যান্য প্ৰতিযোগিতামূলক পৰীক্ষাসমূহৰ বাবে অতি উপযোগী Fundamental rights are mentioned in which part of the Indian Constitution? Part 3. Fundamental rights are included in which articles? Article 12 to 35. Fundamental rights in Indian Constitution are inspired from which country? USA. Part 3 of the Constitution is known as Magna Carta of India. How many fundamental rights are currently available in India? Option C, 6. Which fundamental right was removed from the original list? Option B, right to property. Right to property was removed by which amendment? 44th Constituent Amendment. Right to property is now a legal right. Article 12 defined the states. State under Article 12 includes government, parliament and local authorities. LIC and ONGC are considered state under Article 12. Article 13 deals with laws inconsistent with fundamental rights. Any law violating fundamental rights is void. Judicial review power is given under Article 13 and 32. Rule of law concept is related to decay. Equality before law is taken from Britain. Equal protection of law is taken from USA. Article 14 guarantees equality before law. Article 15 prohibits discrimination on religion, race, caste and sex. Article 16 deals with equality of opportunity in public employment. Article 17 abolished untouchability. Article 18 deals with titles. Fundamental rights are subject to reasonable restrictions. Article 19 rights are available to only citizens. Article 19 originally provides how many freedoms? 7. Article 14 provides equality before law and equal protection of laws. Equality before law means no one is above law. Equal protection of law means same treatment in similar situations. Article 14 applies to all persons. Article 15 prohibits discrimination on religion, race, caste, place of birth, etc. Article 15 applies to both state and public access cases. Special provision for women and children is allowed under Article 15. Reservation for backward classes is allowed under Article 15 and 16. Article 16 deals with public employment. Article 16 applies to only citizens. Residence requirement in public employment can be imposed by Parliament. Article 17 deals with untouchability. Untouchability is abolished and punishable. Article 18 prohibits titles. Military and academic awards like Padma Awards are not prohibited under Article 18. Article 19 originally provides how many freedoms? 6. Article 19 1A deals with speech and expression. Freedom of speech includes expression in any form. Press freedom is derived from Article 19. Right to information is part of Article 19. Freedom of assembly must be peaceful and unarmed. Right to form association is under Article 19(1)(c). Trade union formation is protected under Article 19. Freedom of movement is under Article 19(1)(d). Freedom of residence is under Article 19(1)(e). Freedom of profession is under Article 19(1)(g). Article 19 rights can be restricted by reasonable restrictions by state. Article 20 deals with protection in criminal conviction. Ex post facto law means retrospective criminal law. Double jeopardy means no second trial for same offense. Self-incrimination means protection from being witness against oneself. Article 21 guarantees life and personal liberty. Article 21 applies to all persons. Procedure established by law means legal procedure made by legislature. Right to life includes dignified life. Right to education 6 to 14 years is under Article 21A. Right to education was added by 86th Constituent Amendment. Article 21A provides answer B, free and compulsory education. Article 21 expanded by Supreme Court in Maneka Gandhi case. Article 22 deals with option B, arrest and detention. Arrested person must be produced before magistrate within option B 24 hours. Article 22 applies to both citizens and foreigners. Preventive detention means detention without trial. Preventive detention is based on suspicion of future crime. Maximum detention without advisory board opinion 3 months. Advisory board consists of High Court judges. Article 23 deals with forced labor. Beggar means forced unpaid labor. Article 24 prohibits employment of children below 14 years. Article 25 guarantees religion. Freedom of religion includes belief, practice, and propagation. Article 26 relates to religious denominations. Article 27 prohibits religion-based tax promotion. Article 28 deals with religion instructions in schools. Article 29 protects culture and language. Article 30 gives right to minorities to establish institutions. Article 32 is called heart and soul of the Constitution. Article 32 deals with constitutional remedies. Writs are issued by Supreme Court and High Courts. Habeas corpus means to produce body. Mandamus means we command. Prohibition writ is issued by High Court to Lower Court. Certiorari means to transfer case. Warranto means on what authority. Article 33 empowers Parliament. Martial law is mentioned in Article 34. Article 35 gives power to Parliament. National emergency affects fundamental rights and central-state relations. Article 21 cannot be suspended. Article 19 rights suspended during emergency due to war or external aggressions. Article 14 is part of basic structure. Rule of law is associated with decay. Equality before law is option B, negative. Fundamental rights aim is to protect individual liberty. Fundamental rights are subject to reasonable restrictions. আজিৰ আলোচনাৰ ইমানতে অন্ত পৰিছে। ভিডিঅ'টো শেষলৈকে চোৱাৰ বাবে ধন্যবাদ সকলোকে। পৰৱৰ্তী ভিডিঅ'ত নতুন বিষয়বস্তুৰ সৈতে পুনৰ লগ পাম।